Welcome to the DK His, as you know what we talking about. Welcome to the DK His, that's what we gonna run our mouth. Hey y'all, just a little disclaimer. Everything is for entertainment purposes only. Everything is alleged. I don't know none of these people. I'm just giving my thoughts, my opinions, predictions on what I think I see and know and hear. And I want you to do the same down in the comment section. So don't take everything too seriously, but only with a grain of salt, because you know we be shoving it up in this kitchen. And welcome, glad to have you. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you've been here a couple of times, we'd love to have you in the fam bam. Hey y'all, what's up, party gang? Welcome to the His House. If you're not subscribed, please do so. We'd love to have you over here. We're here to talk about Queen Clarence, Leslie, Chris. Yeah, that part. Okay, so it was some stuff that happened in TV land. Queen and Clarence did a spicy hot seat question or whatever, an answer. And Chris and Leslie talked in the chat, and also the whole situation. And Chris had something to say, so let's speak about all that. We're gonna get right into it. Let's go. Now, keep in mind, Chris says that he want to be left out all the blogs. Okay, we'll stay off the media. That's just all that is. We just gonna give our opinion, do reactions or whatever. Nothing to be worried about, because at the end of the day, it's your life, so you only really know. So at the end of the day, I understand why you say that, and I really feel like he said that just because that's a tricky situation. Like, any time that your ex or her ex or current is talking about you and that's her baby father, is a bad and tricky situation. So I was just saying, like, he don't want no problems, he don't want no drama, so just don't speak on it, bring him up. I get it. He's been under the radar, this and this and that, and I'm glad that he is trying to look for something to do on YouTube. Hopefully he won't be too sexual. That was my issue with him. Do that on OnlyFans, okay? But I mean, he gonna do what he wanna do. I mean, to be honest, you can even just vlog about your music, about your day, about your life. You don't have to be too complicated. If you sit and play games, or you sit and just eat popcorn, like, just vlog. It's just that simple. Okay, but do what you want to do, bro. Do what you want to do. I'm just glad he's coming back to the scene. That's what's up. And to be honest, I did hear a clip because I was actually on that live for a brief minute, and I heard a clip of him saying a piece of his music, and that was kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. To be honest, I think that song kind of be trading on my song right now. The clip that I heard, and that's not really, that's a little per T. Even though their songs are good, your song was something that I could see that I was bumped to, like, for real, for real. So he said he's thinking about dropping music. So I'm excited. I feel like, that sound was fire, and it can really blow up if he cater it in the right avenue. And I love his new house. It's nice, it's gorgeous. And of course, Queen and Clarence also supposedly bought a house, even though they must be doing renovations or something, because they're not appearing like they're in it yet. I don't know what the situation is with that. But hey, do what you want to do. You could do that. I think his house appears to be a little bit bigger, but at the same time, we don't know the different prices. It don't really matter. At the end of the day, a house is a house. But he is single, and it's two of them. Oh, dang it. Was that wrong? I don't think so. I think he's doing good. Well, I'm trying to say, I think he's doing really good for himself, is what I'm trying to say. He's doing really good for himself. And I think, okay, since we talked about Queen and Clarence, let's speak on it. So, just per T, I was listening to, I think it was Martin Lewis, and he said that if he get his stuff taken down for talking about the Chris and Clarence video that he didn't post, like, it's gonna be a problem. Just pull up per T, so don't take his stuff down, allegedly. Yeah. And I hadn't seen him in so long, and I just happened to run across his page. I was so excited because I done switched pages and stuff like that on my other fake dummy page. I was like, oh, that's what's up. Yo, I missed him. So I'm glad that I got to hear from him that he's doing good. And he was basically like, he gonna post what he want. As he should. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, y'all go check out his vlog. It was really informational. It was really good. And according to him, he said he got backup if somebody tried to take his YouTube channel down, and we don't want them problems. Okay, so I feel like somebody needs to know, because I felt like it was really no way that nothing was going to be done if you do try to take people's pages down, and you may not want to go that route. I was just thinking that out loud, but apparently he know people that got real facts on it. So even if you have the video up, he was even saying, hit him up and he can give you some pointers if your video or your channel get taken down, just because you talked about something and reacted to something. That's just a little perty. But moving on, the spicy video challenge. One of the questions that was talked about with Queen and Clarence was, how do they feel about Chris and Leslie? I think Queen's been a little shady when she was like saying they look cute together. It was giving me like she was kind of wondering what Clarence was gonna react to it. Like, was he like over Leslie? I feel like Clarence is kind of over Leslie just for the fact that Chris was with her. You know what I'm saying? That'll make a lot of dudes end it with a female, just to know that their woman or somebody they was fooling with smashed somebody. And I feel like that's also some of the underlying alleged beef with him and Chris. And the fact that Chris and Leslie were on a live flirting again right after this situation is a little perty. Like, pretty much, like, that was a little bit too much. Like, really? What was the reason? It's like, were you trying to be messy because you don't want to be talked about, but you doing messy-ish? You know what I'm saying? That's very messy. But I do like what Clarence said, that he did it first. Which is kind of true, you know what I'm saying? But also at the end of the day, it's like, being messy is not going to help anything, bro. If anything, y'all should do some videos together. Like, I feel like both of y'all views could go up, make some money instead of arguing and fighting. Make some money off the ish. You know what I'm saying? Because allegedly, y'all may have to deal with each other for a little bit situation. I said I was going to talk about Chris and Clarence predictions. I mean, Queen and Clarence predictions. I guess I can put it in here, because they also talked about the prenup question. And I think it's smart, but at the same time, it was funny that Clarence was like, who put that question in here? You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I feel like both of them probably put one or two questions that they put in on there. So that's just me. I mean, that's the thing that to do. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, if you want to get married, that's definitely going to be a conversation that you're going to have, because we know Queen wants to be married. I don't really feel like Clarence wants to be married, but I don't think it's not because it's just her. I feel like just him in general. And I also feel like it's some things he would like to work on in a relationship that ain't like tip top for him to make him want to just gun ho with it. But if he ain't going nowhere, might as well. But then too, allegedly, it could be another D'Era and Ken situation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it, because I like, them as individuals. It just was together. It was a little toxic, apparently, because they were together 10 years, even bought a house, even got a proposal, and then they end up splitting. So it could be one of them situations too, and who knows? But I feel like if you not going nowhere or whatever, you might as well. And if you that bothered by her past situation, you might as well stay locked in. And to be honest, like I said before, y'all kind of are or whatever. But at the same time, y'all not. Because y'all been living together so long. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like Queen really wants it, because she likes the husband title, to be like, Clarence was my husband or whatever. But also I feel like Clarence also know he can take his time, if that makes sense or whatever. But then too, that was kind of telling, because Queen was like, you think you would still be with Clarence if it wasn't for the baby? They had talked about that. And he said he felt that they would, but she said no. And I really just feel like it's just because of the marriage thing, basically. But the fact that, the baby came, they just bossed up with it. That's how I feel about that. I originally feel like, allegedly, well, in my opinion, I feel like he really got with Queen to come to a certain type of lifestyle and fame. That's just my opinion. But at the same time, Queen is not no ugly chick, but I really don't feel like she was his type. And if you don't remember, he did a video with Mod about some hot sauce. I really feel like he felt that way. And even Queen brought it up to him. But at the same time, she is grown on him, I feel, and they seem to be trying to work on whatever they have. And at the end of the day, you got a man, and shout out to Clarence, because he was kind of giving an impression like he'll let Queen be a little hairy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that stuff hang. I commend any Tarzan. Go deep in the jungle, period. It ain't gonna bite you. I mean, something might bite you in there, a snake or something. That's what they say, but it ain't gonna bite. I mean, it takes a real man to be able to be with a woman and be not tripping about that. Now, if a woman wants to get rid of her hair, I would suggest lasering or something like that. But I'd be scared it'd be side effects to that stuff, to be honest. But it probably don't be, but it probably do. Sometimes you just don't find out stuff to 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? So, zap a baby or something. I don't know. Allegedly, so that's the only thing with that. But I do feel like I respect a man who don't really worry about that. But I don't know, like, it was some crazy stuff talked about in there or whatever. Okay, but yeah, that was their hot seat. And also about him getting along with her mom. I did not know that he was still having beef with her mom. That is crazy to me, just a little bit, because you want to marry somebody who is got beef with your mama. Now, don't get me wrong. I know family members are not always right, but I do feel like her mom does generally care for her. And if she do got beef, it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, moms do be knowing a lot of the times. And I would say mama know in this situation. But I do remember mom kind of giving praise to Chris and talking to Chris. And we know how Clarence reacted to seeing Chris and Queen together on the end video with Trey and that fiasco and what happened with that. So he probably did have a problem with that. But since he made up with Trey, it's a possibility. But at the end of the day, there's something that he can benefit from making up with Trey, because he's cool with Armand, who's cool with Reginae, so he was already friends with Trey's brother. The point of making up with mom should have already been done, allegedly, because that's the mother of your wife, soon to be wife, you say, girlfriend. So I thought that would have been done. The fact that it's not, ooh, it's giving me very much red flags or flag on the play, especially since he wouldn't have her not talking to his mama. I mean, they just saying favoritism, just a little bit. So that's my opinion on them. I don't personally see it going long term with Clarence and Queen. But for right now, I could see it going 5 more years, or for a good minute. I would say that. And that just because, they got a lot of stuff going on with them overall. And I also feel like Clarence is definitely about getting his bag up, helping his woman get her bag up. And he also is a father. Yeah. So that's my spill on that. Now, the Leslie and Chris situation, let's speak on that. To be honest, I think allegedly in my opinion, Chris got with Leslie just to get Clarence back for running his mouth. Just to be honest. And he had some fun in the process. And I really feel like Clarence, when he laughed about them having chemistry, it was funny to me too. I don't feel like they had chemistry. I feel like they were lusting because I feel like they both have a high sex drive, allegedly. But I also feel like Leslie saw it as a business opportunity as well. And she even stated that she hoped that they could still be friends. I feel like that's what she really feels about Chris, as just a friend or a business situation. And what comes with that just comes with that. So it's very interesting that she was on his live. It's very interesting that I went back and watched her video again. She mentioned Chris about 3 or 4 times in her question and answering session. So that was just another way to get his attention. And what better way to get back on than go back to what put you on? So, if anything, I feel like that's nothing to really be tripping about. Like, I can't see them getting married. I can't see them. Well, she do want kids. I don't know. So they probably will have a baby, but probably not. More than likely not. But she does. At one time, she did want a kid. So, I mean, if it happened, it happened. But, and it probably would be a girl, and he wants a girl, So, but as far as her just being in love or something like that, or him being in love, I never got that. So the fact that Queen said that, it was a little funny for me to say that, but it was kind of like she was just trying to just test the waters when she said it, because I felt like she didn't really believe that. But then too, she might, because sometimes Queen just be in her own little zone and she feel how she feel, and that's just what everybody's supposed to do. I just didn't get that. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so that's that situation. But I mean, if they do videos together, it probably will get a lot of attention. But now people think it's fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to really play that stuff, or at least say we're just friends, something. Because I think they started off saying that they were just friends. Then he started picking her up and smelling her, like Clarence claimed to swipe Queen before, during, and after, or whatever. Like, he was picking her up, and like she was like right in his face with it. Like, it was crazy. They was doing a lot, Leslie and Chris. So at the end of the day, I just feel like I would love for Clarence and Chris to come to an understanding, but they can't, because Clarence does not want to lose to Chris. He barely can stomach him for what situation with Leslie. This is alleged, just my opinion. I don't know. Okay, and then Chris probably still got some animosity, because that's why he's reached out to Leslie. But then too, Queen is over here lollygagging in her own little world, thinking that Leslie and Chris is cute, and me and my boo about to get booed up, when the whole time it ain't even really about her. It is, but it ain't. Because to be honest, I don't even feel like I'm starting to feel like Clarence being with Queen has a lot more to do with Chris and his loathing of Chris than they do with Queen at this point. I don't even feel like she's even the main issue. Sure enough, he wants to get lit and his money up and her money up, but it's also giving me, I be dang if Chris gets you back. It's been giving me that for a while too. So yeah, so Chris didn't want me speaking about him. Nobody speaking about him, but I had to speak about it. Period. And this is just my opinion. And this is the way I feel. You feel the way you feel based on your observations of the situation. Doesn't mean that Clarence is bothered by Chris, or Chris is bothered by Clarence, or try to get any get back. That's just the way it came off. And that's the way that it comes off with me saying anything that I'm saying, whether it's true or not. You got to do your own research and use your own line of thinking to feel the way that you want to feel. Never just assume something or go with something just because somebody says it. And that's just what I feel. But apparently Queen's thinking about her man, Clarence, NYC. And that's just what it is, per T. But I also gotta say this, like, if you're gonna do the marriage thing, don't be so worried about are you worried about the fact that you want to get married or what? Because if you really want to get married for marriage, then prenup is really shouldn't be like a thought in your head too much. I mean, yes, it can be a thought because, you know, you may or may not be at a point where you getting money, you know, and think somebody could possibly get your money. But at the same time, it's like you so pressed about marriage. If you have an inkling of an idea that you think he might leave, then maybe you shouldn't be getting married or worried about it. Just go with the flow. But that's just my opinion. But I definitely would do a prenup just because I've been married and she has too, and it could be crazy if you with the crazy. I mean, with the wrong person. I do get toxic vibes from them sometimes, but at the end of the day, they're making it work, and that's basically all you can do. Just because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out here single. Either be single or possibly deal with some little toxicity until you find your perfect person, which is in fairy tale land and waiting to happen. We wait to see it, you know. So, well, as always, thank you for stopping by at His House for your alleged tea, entertainment, and gossip and predictions. And we will definitely have more. So definitely come back and see us. And if you want to be notified, hit that bell and also subscribe, especially if you've been here before. Come back again and again. But subscribe and join the fam band. We'd love to have you. And if you liked anything that was said on today or even made you laugh, joke, think, ponder, make sure you hit that thumbs up or that like button, especially if you agree or disagree. And comment down below.